Your relationship with Pete was always pretty fiery. You know, you said before to me you had lots of arguments and they get pretty uptight. Both quite passionate people, both got tempers on you. I mean, I think that reading between the lines, the catalyst for the breakdown of your marriage was what happened in America. I just want to show you a clip from the American reality show you were doing, because looking at this, it seems to me this may be the time when everything started going wrong for you.
When he goes on tour and he auditions the dancers, I am going to get all the dancers in the room and say, if I catch any of you flirting or thinking you can get with my husband, I tell you what, you'll be dropped from the tour within seconds, whether he has a word with it or not. You haven't got a say in it, babe.
Excuse me?
You have no say in it.
Nothing to do with
I
my
don't give
music. You have exactly zero to do with my music and my tours.
If I come on tour with you, I have every reason.
Well,
if I see any of them, well then
not going to tell me. You are not going to tell me. What are we talking about?
What are you talking about? How far has this gone?
That's his mentality.
Oh, you're vile, man.
Why is that? Please don't talk to me on the flight. Please, just say I'm not.
Right, bye.
Say I'm not.
I'd rather not talk to you.
Yes! Freedom on the flight.
I mean, you're laughing there.
I'm laughing, but I'm laughing because I look dreadful.
No, but you just came across as a bit sort of, you know...
In our reality show, there's one bad cop, one good cop. I'm the bad one, he's the good one. He always says something, he knows I'm going to bite, then I bite bigger bite.
I don't think he comes over at all well either. I think the pair of you...
Oh, yeah, but I come across a lot worse.
What it seems to me is the pair of you have almost lost respect for each other in that clip.
Completely.
And it says to me...
Which is probably why I went out in Bristol, because we'd lost respect
Well, that's
at that
what I'm
point.
really going to ask you, is that it seems to me what happened in Bristol was the end game.
It was basically.
To what had already gone massively wrong before. When you look back on it all, when do you think it all began to go wrong, really? Was it when you went to America?
It's such a shame because we were so in love, and the American trip we should never, ever, ever have done. I mean, I used to say to Pete, look, I want you as my husband. I don't want to work with you all the time, Pete, because when you're working with someone all the time, when you come home, what do you talk about? It was if, like, 24/7 we were stuck together. That's not healthy. That's not normal. And it's made me realise that, you know, eventually, obviously I will get into another relationship. I'm going to do things completely, utterly different. You've got to have your own time, your freedom, and then enjoy things together and talk about things.
You're in Malibu, you're in the hills, Pete's working on his album, you're not doing anything.
Bored.
And a bored Katie Price is not a good creature, I would imagine.
No, it's not. I'm quite an active person. I like to be doing things all the time.
So you were fed up, you start bickering with Pete.
I was always bickering anyway. But yeah, we were bickering a lot.
I mean, Katie, some people would have looked at that situation in America with Pete's album taking off and you stuck bored in the hills in Malibu and think, was she getting a bit jealous of Pete's career becoming quite successful?
Not at all. I've never been jealous of his career. If anything, I want his album to really work. He'd be so good on a West End stage. He's so talented, and it is a wasted talented. And I know Pete really wants his album to work. And I hope it does for his sake, because he's put a lot of time and effort into it. And there's no reason for me to be jealous. I have so much going on myself. And when you're together, you want to encourage each other. You work as a team. And if anything, I should have looked at it as a break. But I was more frustrated because I wanted to get home to work. I hate not working. I'm a workaholic, career-minded woman, and it was frustrating for me. But I certainly wasn't jealous, no.
Were you falling out of love with him?
Do you know, when I look back, I would say I was in love with Pete, but then I don't know if it was habit or love when I look back now, because now I've split with him. At first, when he said it's split, it was like, shock, what am I going to do without Pete? And then I think that's normal reaction. You'd think with anyone when you split. Then I think, oh my God, but I've got his kids. And I wasn't thinking about the work thing or nothing, because that side didn't really bother me.
Did you still fancy him just before you split?
Yeah, I'd look at him and think, you're gorgeous, but I look at him now and think, what on earth did I see in him?
In the News of the World in May 2009, it was claimed that you and Pete had not had sex for 2 years before the marriage breakup. Is that true?
Okay, I'll tell you something. Did anyone know that I was pregnant in America and the baby died? Did anyone know that? No. So don't tell me that me and Pete didn't have sex.
When was that?
Moment. Hang on. Compose. Just have to bear.
Okay.
said I wouldn't cry. What are you doing?
So take your time.
In America, I fell pregnant.
When was this?
The trip that we've just done.
So early part of this year?
Yeah. And the baby died. I ran the marathon bleeding, and then Pete dumps me. That is a lot for women to take in.
How far pregnant were you?
Maybe about 9-10 weeks.
And what happened?
When we got back from it, we was all happy that we was going to have another baby because we always spoke about it.
Because there were reports that you were planning another baby, so that was true. You were.
Okay, me and Pete weren't getting on. We were having marriage counselling, and because of the problems what they were, I thought we'd get over it. I did get pregnant. People could say, well, why would you even get pregnant if you're not getting on? I'm married to the guy, and I'm with him for life. Why not? We've always said we want more kids.
Which month was this? Can you remember?
March.
And how did Pete react when you told him you were
really
pregnant?
Happy. If Pete had it his way, he'd have me pregnant all the time in the kitchen cooking. He just loved, and I loved, because I want more kids, and I wanted more kids. So I fell pregnant. Didn't tell anybody. Claire knew, our manager. That was all. I had to tell Claire because of work. Obviously, you get bigger.
Tell your mum?
My mum knew, yeah.
But you were happy? You and Pete were happy about this?
Well, even though we were still bickering and I shouldn't have gone to America, yeah, we were happy because it's a baby. It's an amazing thing when you have a baby.
And did part of you think this might help your marriage?
No, I don't believe you should have kids to help your marriage. But, you know...
But the way he reacted, the fact that he was happy about it, did you think maybe...
Yeah, I never thought that when I got back from America, I'll be getting divorced, basically. So I was pregnant. When we got back from America, I went to see the doctor, and we had a scan, and he said it doesn't look good. Just bear with me.
Okay.
My eyelash is going to fall off.
Don't worry, there's no hurry.
So we had the scan, and he was poking a thing around on my belly, and it was moving, and he said, like he can't see a heartbeat. But he said, let me check, so let me do some bloods. So he done some bloods, and 3 days later he called me up and said, I think it's the HDC level. It's still high. Which means that it could still be alive. At this point, I knew I had to do the marathon in a week's time. So my head was going like this because I thought, I've got to do the marathon. I can't let people down. I've trained all this time. I've got this money. What am I going to do? Can I still run it? So, oh, fucking hell. So that was 3 days. He said, come back on the Saturday. We'll do some more bloods or something like that. And I'd done them. And over the weekend, I was doing polo up in Birmingham. I was supposed to ride the polo. And the doctor phoned me up and said, it's really good news, Kate. Your HG levels have gone up more, which means the baby's forming, that there's some kind of pregnancy there. So he said, come back on Monday, and we'll check, see if we can find a heartbeat. So I went in on Monday. This was before the marathon.
Was Pete with you?
Not all of them, but was he with me at this one? Do you know, it's such a blank. I know he was there when I had to have determination. So I went in thinking he's going to be great, he's going to see our heartbeat. And it was on the screen, and, you know, they poked the thing around. He said, no, it's died, it's gone. So then I was confused because I thought, but and I said to him that the HTC levels have gone up, so surely that means there is a pregnancy. And inside I'm thinking,